First, China. There is something so familiar about the kind of spokesman, the propaganda people of brutal dictatorships. I mean, people like the Nazis' propaganda chief, Joseph Goebbels, talking so tough like some pantomime villain. Or Saddam Hussein's information minister, Baghdad Bob, with his extravagant threats to destroy the Americans.
We will slaughter them all. Those invaders, their tombs will be here in Iraq.
You're not frightened now, sir?
Not at all, not at all. And you don't be frightened. We are going to tackle them and to destroy them. They are not near Baghdad. Don't believe them. It's baseless. They are liars.
Now I think of blowhard hustlers like that when I see China's foreign affairs spokesman now, looking like some overdressed shoe salesman, but talking like some B-grade movie gangster, threatening countries all over the world. Honestly, if you ever thought that China's just picking on Australia, that people are exaggerating just how aggressive it's become, check out this guy's regular press briefings. The latest from last Friday is right there online, and you can see for yourself just how many threats to how many countries this puffed up mouthpiece for China's dictator makes in just 1 hour of a media briefing. Just on Friday, just 1 day of threats, Spokesman Wang warned Taiwan's democratic government to shut up about being independent, or else, saying Taiwan independent separatist forces are making provocations by seeking independence. And as you know, China's threatening war against Taiwan. Wang also accused the US of trying to hurt China with Europe's support, claiming, "Does the US have no shame?" Wang also warned the German Greens, who may win government at the next election, warned them against criticising China. He says China opposes wanton allegations based on lies and rumours. And he attacked Australian politicians who have criticised China for jailing up to 1 million Muslim Chinese. The German Greens don't like that either, warning them to stop endorsing anti-China separatist activities and terrorist organisations to avoid getting burned itself. I tell you what, that's a hell of a lot of threats and aggression and overheated rhetoric from just one press conference from China's foreign affairs spokesman. And I'm not kidding. You go to that website of the Chinese Foreign Affairs Department, day after day, it is the same blustering, belligerent story. This is a dictatorship that is paranoid, aggressive, touchy, and, unfortunately, a superpower. Now, that is why you're now hearing so many people, real experts, warning us all. Wake up. This is not just a scare. This is not just a headline, tomorrow's fish and chips. Here's the US Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, on Sunday.
What we've witnessed over the last several years is China acting more repressively at home and more aggressively abroad. That is a fact.
What's China's goal?
I think that over time, China believes that it can be and should be and will be the dominant country in the world.
Now, something very, very serious is happening. And this threat is unfortunately not coming from people we can easily reason with. I mean, China refuses to even talk to our ministers, to our Prime Minister. And today we got another warning about this threat. Last year, the head of our Special Forces, Major General Adam Finlay, now an advisor to the government, told soldiers there was a high likelihood of war and China was our biggest threats. His comments have only just been reported. In fact, he said China was already fighting Australia in the grey zone. That's actually something our new Defence Minister, Peter Dutton, said only yesterday. China's already at war with us in this grey zone by launching huge cyber attacks on government agencies, for example. Major General Finlay reckons this is part of China's new kind of warfare, to fight right up to the point where the West would finally think it's out in the open, we've got to fight back. He says China has said, let's be smarter. Let's just play below that threshold before it goes to war. Let's achieve things strategically without having war, as in a kinetic war with blood. But of course, you can't rule out a real war with with bodies. Mistakes get made. And China, for instance, has been sending over warplanes every week, this week again, to test Taiwan's air defences. America's military is predicting war could well break out over Taiwan this decade. In 5 or 6 years, in fact. And the big question is, can anyone now actually rely on the United States having the strength or the will to defend Taiwan at the other side of the globe, or ultimately defend Australia or any other democracy that gets in China's way? And that's bad news for us. Because against China's 2 million strong military, 2 million, what have we got? 60,000. Let me tell you how pathetic that is. Taiwan has a slightly smaller population than us. It has 5 times more people in its armed forces and a lot more advanced weapons. Now, I've got to give 10 out of 10 to the Morrison government for calling out the China threat. It's been very good on this. But years of complacency are now catching up with this. You don't build a big new military overnight. The war has suddenly got a lot more threatening, and time is running out for us to get enough teeth to bite back hard. Now that's why Foreign Minister Maurice Payne is now flying overseas for 2 weeks to the US and Europe to push for mutual security of all the democracies against China. All the democracies have got to stand together or they will fall separately. China's got to know, you touch one of us, you touch all, so that the pain of war will not be worth the gain. The problem is, what if China thinks we're bluffing?